do have a little bit of vodka. You know, if it's tough times, I mean, you're gonna wanna have a drink once in a while. No shame in that. So today we're going to talk about emergency food supplies. And this applies to everyone, whether you're living in a vehicle like myself, or you have some kind of an off-grid cabin, or even if you don't, even if you're in the city, in your house, in an apartment, whatever the situation is, it's a good idea to have a long-term food storage solution on hand in case something happens where you can't get to the grocery store, you know, or the grocery stores are closed, or whatever happens. It's very comforting to know that you can go for weeks, months, without having to resupply on food. One of the first things I did when I was going to get ready is I looked at the online food supply companies. So there's a couple big brands out there that ship you a ready to go kit. It's in a bucket, it lasts for 25 years, and there you go. And so I started looking at the options and I realized, you know, for me personally, I live a pretty specific diet lifestyle. I try to eat very healthy, very organic, no gluten, no dairy, that type of stuff. And when I'm looking at these emergency food kits you get online, you know, you don't really have choices like when you go to a grocery store and you can pick ingredients. The kit is what it is. And when I looked through the ingredients, I saw things like high fructose corn solids, things like non-iodized salt, which most people understand you need iodine in your salt. So non-iodized salt has very little value. And then also pretty much everything I looked at contained soy, wheat, and dairy. So, you know, on one hand, the benefit of these pre-made kits is that they last a long time. So like they're good for up to 25 years, a lot of these kits, and you just buy it and forget about it. But for me, you know, going from the diet I have now, which gives me a lot of energy and makes me feel very good, if the switch was flipped and I had to all of a sudden live off of this emergency food ration, which is the complete opposite of my diet, I know for a fact that my lifestyle, my quality of life would very much degrade very quickly if all of a sudden I'm eating all this packaged GMO, soy, you know, corn syrup diet. It's very high in sugar as well. So for me, I decided what I needed to do was make my own kit. So in order for this to work for me, because I have limited space, I kind of had to change the way I looked at an emergency food supply. So for most people, it's something you purchase and you tuck away in your garage until S hits the fan, and then you go drag it out and you start living off of it. So for me, because space is limited, what I had to do is basically convert the space I would normally use for everyday food storage into my emergency food supply. So the way that works for me, and actually I think this is a great idea for most people as well, is rather than getting a supply of food that's good for 25 years and stacking it away, you know, most of the food that I bought has a shelf life of 2 to 3 years, which isn't bad, but it's definitely not, it doesn't compare to 25 years. So what I found works for me is I build up a 3-month supply, and then once I have that 3-month supply, what I do is I start eating the things that expire the soonest, and then when I go grocery shopping, I'm looking for things with a long expiration date, and I'm putting those at the end of my food storage list or my food storage containers. So basically the way it works is I'm creating a cycle where the oldest food within my emergency storage gets eaten first. And then as I go grocery shopping, instead of going grocery shopping and buying food for today, I'm going grocery shopping and I'm buying food with a long expiration date to replenish my stock. And so that way I basically always have a circulating 3-month food supply at any given time, and it's also fresh. Because the reality is it's only, I keep saying 30 days, 90 days, I'm sorry guys, 3 months, 90 days. Anyway, that way I always have a trailing 90-day food supply. And so at any given time, if S hits the fan, I don't have to run to the grocery store. I don't have to panic because I know I got 3 months of food with me, and it's basically the exact same food that I would normally eat anyway. So you don't have to go through the stress of now you're eating some weird dehydrated packets that you're adding water to, or some kind of funky protein paste. It's all tasty, it's all healthy, it's all stuff I normally eat. So that's enough of an explanation, but I wanted to explain to you kind of how I'm doing my food rotation. So let's take a look at what I actually got. So I went ahead and laid out some of the products. What I did is, again, these 3 tubs, these are my food storage. And so I want to show you guys how much is left in the tubs. Each of the tubs is still about half full after I pulled all these items out, okay, just to kind of give you an idea. So this represents about half of my 90-day or 3-month food storage. So I want to run you guys through this and show you what I got. And keep in mind, when we're putting this together, we want to, you want to try to live a lifestyle that's very similar to your current lifestyle. You don't want to stress your body out by introducing a bunch of new things or depriving yourself of things that are normally a part of your diet. So keeping that in mind, I wanted to make sure to get things, that are hearty and filling. So like, for example, I have a lot of beans, these bags of black beans, and then I also have canned beans. So I have beans, but I have a variety. These are garbanzo beans or chickpeas. These are black beans. I also have lentils, which are not pictured here. They're in there somewhere. Anyway, I have lentils, and then I also have kidney beans, so a variety of beans which are hearty and filling. And then also I have rice. White rice isn't the best for you, but it is readily available, and it's not the worst thing either. So I have jasmine rice, basmati rice. Quinoa is right down here. I have multiple bags of quinoa, which is a very good source of protein for you. And then additionally, I have pasta. So the cool thing is, again, this entire food supply was about $600 at Grocery Outlet, which sounds pretty crazy, but they do have good prices. So check it out. I got this gluten-free pasta. This is rice pasta, penne pasta. It's certified gluten-free and verified non-GMO. And this one box was $1. They were $1 a box. And one box is 2 servings. I eat this stuff regularly, and I get 2 meals out of each box. So let's look at the ingredients, guys. Ingredients, brown rice flour. That's it. That's all that's in here is brown rice flour. So, it's nutritious, it's filling, it's easy to make. And then, let's see, I got another one here. Let me show you guys a different one. They come in a huge variety. And so I'll show you too. This is one of my piles of it here. So I counted through this, and I have about 30 boxes down here of all this different pasta. This one's multi-grain, rice, quinoa, and amaranth. So it's a little different flavor, different consistency, but again, 2 servings. And so I have 30 boxes just in here at 2 servings a piece. That's 60 servings just of pasta. And then also over in this one here, I have even more. So more pasta, it's all just stacked up, you can see it. And then as well as I have stacks of pasta sauces as well, because you don't want just the pasta. So that's another kind of hearty filling part of my storage. And then also I have oats. I have quite a bit of rolled oats, so that's something that can be breakfast or whatever, but again, it's filling. It's organic, it's non-GMO, gluten-free. It's got a lot of fiber and plant protein. So rolled oats, a very good choice. I also have some almond meal baking mix. So you can use this for pancakes, muffins, bread, whatever you want. It's a substitute for flour. Again, gluten-free. So if we want to get into baking, we can do that. I have some coconut oil, which is full of vitamins and minerals. It's good for cooking. It lasts a long time. And then I also have some olive oil, which I use for making the pasta and things. And then also, I got a lot of little random, kind of treats just, because you don't want to be just eating the same stuff every day, right? You want to have some occasional treats, something different. So I got this Ukrainian salad, which is basically like pickled vegetables. There's like peppers and carrots and cabbage and stuff in there all pickled up. So that's kind of a nice little, little treat. So I got some of that stuff, some mixed nuts. I have dried fruit, organic apricots. Over here I got organic figs, I do have a little bit of vodka. If it's tough times, I mean, you're going to want to have a drink once in a while. No shame in that. So I got some vodka. It also might be something to consider getting as a barter tool. If it's a long-term survival situation or you're with a bunch of people, everyone likes a little booze when times are tough. So it might be something to get in larger quantities. I also got protein powder. So this is an organic, plant-based, vegan protein powder. 25 servings per container. So that's one container. That's, basically 25 meals just right here. Sauces. So one thing you want to make sure is you get sauces and seasonings, because when you're cooking rice and quinoa and lentils, you want to spice it up. You don't want to just be eating it, without any seasoning, because it's pretty bland, and that's going to be pretty stressful on you if you're having to just eat a bunch of bland food. So make sure to get your seasonings, get your spices, get your desserts. I got some crystallized ginger. So this stuff's really good. It's got a lot of sugar in it, though. It's like, what do we got here? 29 grams of sugar per serving. So you wouldn't eat a lot of this, but, crystallized ginger is a little bit of a treat. And then also I have dates. I'm not sure where the dates are at, but I have quite a few bags of dates that I also use kind of as a treat, as a dessert. We got some other superfood smoothie mix here. So it's kind of a mix. In my mind, I plan on probably 50% powdered things with water. So whether it be a smoothie mix, a protein mix, or a vegetable mix, and then the other 50% would be rice, quinoa, beans, lentils, oats, that type of thing. So try to break it up that way. And because I do eat a lot of vegetables, it was important for me to get a lot of vegetable supplements. If you're in a, S hits the fan type situation, you might not have access to fresh fruits and vegetables. So I have raw beetroot powder. I have maca powder. I have spirulina chlorella powder. So again, this is all stuff you can just mix in with water. And so that brings up the point, you gotta have fresh water and a good water source. And so I carry multiple types of water filtration with me in my rig. So I can filter, sterilize, purify with UV lights, multiple different ways of cleaning drinking water, or cleaning, whatever water you have to drink it. And I'll show that in a different video. But so another powder, Moringa powder. This is a superfood creamer. This stuff's really good. I use it with coffee, and it's got a bunch of nutrients in it as well. So, and then I'll give you guys another peek at the tub, just to show you guys how much of this, powdered stuff I have. Oh, here's the dates. Here's a bag of dates, but quite a bit of powder, vegetable type supplements. So, if I end up in that type of situation, I want to make sure I'm comfortable and, I'm healthy. So multiple different types of vegetable powders. And then I have these crackers. These are gluten-free baked lentils with sea salt. And so, these are pretty good. They don't have any really preservatives in them. And, they're non-GMO, gluten-free. So, all right, guys. So that's kind of the tour. I just wanted to show you guys what I'm doing for my long-term food storage, and just show you guys that it's easy to do. Anyone can do it. You don't have to spend, thousands of dollars ordering these buckets of online dehydrated meals. You can be prepared, but you can also have food that's nutritious and that's going to give you energy, because it's important. If you're in an S hits the fan situation, you're already going to be stressed out and potentially worried. And, you might have to deal with, expending a lot of calories. You might be walking, you might be hiking, who knows what's going to be going on, but you want to make sure you have the proper fuel for your body. And so I think I did a pretty good job here of finding the right fuel. So this is what I got. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a message below, and let me know what you guys are doing. If you guys have long-term food supplies, what are you doing? Tell me what's different. Tell me what's working for you. I'm genuinely curious in knowing what other people are doing, and especially if you're living in a vehicle. Because, the first year that I was in a vehicle, I didn't really have any long-term storage, and I was going to the grocery store, every few days. And ever since the, virus kind of hit last year, I realized, like, you can't rely on being able to go to the grocery store every few days. You really have to take matters into your own hand, and you have to be self-sufficient. So this is my 90-day food supply, and I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.